Well, hello folks, and welcome aboard for a ride with the VMCC South Lincolnshire and Peterborough section.
Anyway, keep it clean, we're recording.
This is where we're going today. This is the notation that the VMCC love. If it makes absolutely no sense to you, and why would it, I'll show you where we're starting and finishing on a map. This would be about 15 miles as the crow flies, but we're going to wend our way around all the windy roads and make it more like 40. The matchless is a very reliable starter. First or second kick when she's cold, first kick when she's hot, but as in this case when she's neither hot nor cold, it's a bit of a dark art and it takes me 3 to get her going. With that potentially embarrassing hurdle crossed, it's time to give you an apology and a warning. The apology is I've got a new 360-degree camera. Some of the angles I've used in this film are a little bit wacky, but I'll calm down, I'll get used to it after a bit. And the warning is that the film does contain footage of one of the members crashing on their bike. They weren't seriously hurt. They're very happy for this video to be shown. It just shows one of the pitfalls of riding around in the countryside. So we're off, heading south first towards the railway crossing at Tallington. And one of the features of this ride was that it was nice and brisk. Turn south again in the village of Tallington and go across a local drainage line called the Maxi Cut. And at this point, I go nuts with the camera angles. A short while later, we enter the pretty village of Helpston. This was the birthplace of the 19th century peasant poet John Clare, who wrote some incredible works. Some of his best poems were written while he was committed to a lunatic asylum, and if you only ever look at one, look at the poem I Am, an incredible piece of work. From Helpston we strike south again, as you can see by the position of the sun, and we go through the colourfully named Castor Hanglands Wood. Nothing to do with hanging people. Apparently the word hangra is the old Saxon word for wood on a hill. Then a short blast on the A47 before we head into the village of Wansford and cross the River Nene on the old A1 and its ancient bridge. Over the bridge is the Haycock Manor Inn. This was an old coaching inn when this road was the original A1, and it was built in the 1570s. At first it was known as the Swan Inn. Then 2 miles later we pass the aerodrome at Sibson, and if what you enjoy is throwing yourself out of a perfectly good aeroplane and trusting your life to a parachute, then this is the place for you. village of Elton, we turn west and cross the River Nene on the way to Fotheringay. As we ride through the village and the road bends right, look at the dirt track that goes between the hedges on our left. 200 metres down that track, in medieval times, stood Fotheringay Castle. It was here in 1587 that Mary Queen of Scots was executed. And now we weave our way through England's gentle byways, through strangely named villages like Tansore, Cotterstock, Apethorpe and Kingscliff. Can you see the black dial with the white needle on the back of my blackout headlight? It's an ammeter. When the needle's to the right of the 12 o'clock position, it means that the battery's being charged by the dynamo. When the needle's to the left, it means the battery's discharging because the load is greater. Unfortunately, it's not a very good design because the bike vibrates so much that all you can see is the needle dancing around. In fact, it's a joke among mattress owners that the only thing the ammeter tells you accurately is how many ammeters you've got. At this point, we're bowling along without a care in the world, enjoying the bikes and the road and the sunshine. But then events take a downward turn. As you can see from the slowed down footage, Rowley had no chance to avoid this accident. It just goes to prove the old adage, hope for the best, but dress for the crash. And thank goodness Rowley did. Those of us ahead of the crash were unaware of it until we arrived at the destination. And after about 20 minutes, the trailing group come in with the injured rider, who, it has to be said, was shaken but not stirred, and after a cup of strong coffee and a bowl of eaten mess, was soon riding back to Holbeach through gritted teeth.
Ouch, you okay there?
Shattered.
Well, that's all for now. You've been riding with the South Links and Peterborough section of the VMCC. Hope you enjoyed it. Please join us next time.